Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Shanakshi Chakravarti. Some of the top stories that we've been tracking through the day. In a significant development, the Supreme Court has agreed to review its controversial judgment on the Draconian Prevention of the Money Laundering Act, specifically citing two problematic aspects of the law which need review. These are the reverse burden of proof, where an accused is guilty until proven innocent, and that the ED is not required to give a copy of the case report to the accused, which means that they don't even know why they have been arrested. The Supreme Court has issued a notice to the centre on a plea filed by Congress MP Karti Chidambaram seeking a review of the July ruling by a bench led by Justice Khanvilkar.
Today, the Supreme Court has issued notice to centre government on the review plea that has sought for review of the July 27 judgment. The Supreme Court said that prima facie they have found that two aspects need to be reviewed or reconsidered in this entire judgment. One pertains to not providing the copy of ECIR. ECIR all this while has been an internal or confidential report of the Enforcement Directorate, though it's called as equivalent to FIR, but that has not been given to the accused, so the accused does not even know whether the Enforcement Directorate even investigating him or her for what reason. That's something that the Supreme Court said that needs to be reconsidered. The second very important point is the reverse burden of proof. Though all other agencies, all other police agencies, the agencies have to prove the person accused as guilt or not, something that was the burden was on the agencies, but only in the PMLA case, the Enforcement Directorate investigation, the burden was on the accused, whereas the accused has to prove his innocence in order to get a bail. And that's where Supreme Court said that even this particular aspect that was upheld by the earlier judgment also needs to be reconsidered, and that's why Supreme Court said that prima facie they have found these two issues need to be reconsidered. They have issued notice to centre, but the petitioner side has said not just these two issues, several other issues of the judgment should also be reconsidered, but the Supreme Court said that whatever issue you can give it to the bench, but Supreme Court has issued notice to the centre and they have posted this matter for a new bench to hear this matter in further course.
Meanwhile, outrage and anger mounts in the Bilkis Banu case, with the top court now that has stepped in. Notices were issued on Thursday to the Gujarat government, the centre and the 11 convicts who were released earlier this month. The 11 men had been serving a life sentence for the gang rape of Bilkis in the year 2002 during the Gujarat riots, and they had also been convicted of killing 7 of her family members. The Supreme Court has said that the case will be heard after 2 weeks. In some other international news, in its first reaction to the stabbing of Salman Rushdie, India on Thursday condemned the horrific attack on the celebrated novelist and wished him a speedy recovery. Mr. Rushdie, who is 75 years old, was stabbed in the neck and his torso at New York on the 12th of August. Now, in the statement, India has said that India has always stood against violence and extremism. We condemn the horrific attack on Salman Rushdie and we wish him a speedy recovery. That's what the External Affairs Ministry spokesperson had said at his weekly media briefing.
Look, India has always stood against violence and extremism. We condemn this horrific attack on Salman Rushdie and we wish him a speedy recovery.
And on to some more news. We're moving on to the Pegasus case. Meanwhile, in the Pegasus case, 29 phones were examined and malware was found in 5, but there is no conclusive proof of Pegasus spyware in them, a Supreme Court bench led by Chief Justice N.V. Ramana said on Thursday, adding that the committee it appointed to investigate the issue said the Indian government did not cooperate in its probe. The centre has not cooperated. That's what it said. The court is now scrutinizing a report submitted by a technical committee it set up on the alleged use of Pegasus spyware to snoop on phones of politicians, activists and journalists. The matter has been adjourned for 4 weeks. Meanwhile, Rahul Gandhi has said that the fact that the government did not cooperate shows that they had something to hide and wanted to crush the democracy. Rahul Gandhi in fact tweeted, and I quote his tweet, he said that PM and his government's non-cooperation with the Supreme Court appointed committee is an acceptance that they had something deeper in to hide and want to crush the democracy.
इनके मित्र, इनके सहयोगी पिटिशनर बनते हैं और उसके बाद चाहे वो राफेल हो, चाहे वो सेंट्रल विस्टा हो, चाहे आज का पेगासिस हो, हर को सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने रिजेक्ट किया और बाकी कोर्ट ने रिजेक्ट किया। आज हमें एक बात और कहनी है, और ये बात हम बहुत विनम्रता से कह रहे हैं, कांग्रेस पार्टी स्पाइंग पर हमें नसीहत न दे। आज मुझे पीड़ा से बोलना पड़ रहा है, जब देश के योग्य राष्ट्रपति स्वर्गीय प्रणब बाबू देश के वित्त मंत्री थे, तो उनके दफ्तर पर किसने बगिंग की थी? याद है कांग्रेस पार्टी? उसको च्युइंगम गेट कहा जाता था।
More political news. Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren could be in trouble and face disqualification as an MLA. The EC has written to the Jharkhand governor a sealed report where it was asked to look at whether Mr. Soren violated election laws by giving himself a mining lease. Mr. Soren says he hasn't yet received any communication on this and accused the BJP of drafting the report. The BJP in turn is demanding mid-term polls. In fact, let's take a look at the charges that has erupted in this news. The charge is that that allotted the mining license to himself as mining minister. The BJP has said that CM Soren allotted this lease to himself in the year 2021. Now, as a counter reaction to that, the chief minister has said that he got the lease in the year 2008 and was not minister then. He has said that the lease surrendered this year without the mining. Meanwhile, the Chief Minister has also stated the following. It apparently seems that the BJP leaders, including a BJP MP and his puppet journalists, have themselves drafted the ECI report, which is otherwise a sealed cover report. This blatant misuse of constitutional authorities and public agencies and its complete takeover by the BJP headquarters in Deen Dayal Upadhyay Marg in this shameful manner is unseen in the context of the Indian democracy.
All eyes now on the Jharkhand governor, who supposedly has received the Election Commission's recommendations on the brewing Office of Profit controversy that has resulted in the BJP demanding the disqualification of Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren as the legislator. Now, if he is disqualified, then obviously he cannot be CM or Chief Minister, and that's why the political upheaval in Jharkhand is something that many are anticipating and closely watching. What will Hemant Soren do? Will he resign? Will he accept? What has the EC report said, or what has the EC recommended? We don't know that yet, but the assumption that many are making is that in the case that the EC does recommend disqualification, then the governor is likely to go by it. The EC in matters such as these acts as a quasi-judicial body, but Hemant Soren, of course, has the opportunity and the recourse to going to court, and he's likely to do that if the EC and the governor act. But all eyes on the governor, because there's been no comment from him. He's the man who's going to take a decision based on what is being said in that sealed envelope by the Election Commission, and that is of course going to be importantly watched, because remember, in Jharkhand, Hemant Soren leads a coalition government, the Congress, the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, and this controversy, of course, the Jharkhand CM Hemant Soren's camp says is something that really doesn't amount to an office of profit, because there's been no financial transaction. Yes, there may have been an allotment of a mine, but that doesn't mean office of profit, because there's no financial transaction. Apart from that, what we also know is that Jharkhand's CM Hemant Soren has hit out at the BJP, saying that, look, you may buy bodies, constitutional bodies, but how will you buy public support? So all of that is something that's in discussion in political circles in Jharkhand, and all eyes are on the Raj Bhavan to watch and see what the governor has to say on this entire matter. With Haribansh Sharma in Ranchi, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
In more political news, Arvind Kejriwal's emergency meeting of the Aam Aadmi Party MLAs on Thursday produced a reassuring head count as the party accused the BJP of offering Rs 20 crore to its MLAs to topple its government in Delhi. 53 of the Aam Aadmi Party's 62 MLAs in Delhi attended this meeting at the Chief Minister's residence. Those missing are all accounted for and pledged their support on the speakerphone with Arvind Kejriwal. That's what the AAP leader Saurabh Bharadwaj said. Now, at least 12 MLAs have said that they had received BJP offers and each pledged support to Mr. Kejriwal.
A failed Operation Lotus in Delhi, claims the Aam Aadmi Party after a meeting called amid concerns of alleged poaching attempts by the BJP. 53 of the Aam Aadmi Party's 62 Delhi MLAs attended the meeting in person, while the rest were either dialed in, were out of Delhi or in jail like Satyendra Jain.
मुझे बेहद खुशी है कि हमारा एक भी एमएलए अभी तक नहीं टूटा है, पर मैं दिल्ली की जनता को कहना चाहता हूं कि आपने एक कट्टर ईमानदार पार्टी को वोट दिया है, कट्टर ईमानदार सरकार को वोट दिया है। मैं मेरे एमएलए, मेरे मंत्री, हम कट जाएंगे, देश के साथ दगा नहीं करेंगे।
We were getting news that BJP people are approaching our MLAs and they are trying to topple our government. 12 have basically confirmed to the leadership that they have been approached by BJP. So I think to reassure ourselves and to reassure the people of Delhi, we wanted to invite all the MLAs at one location.
The BJP staged protests against the Aam Aadmi Party government in the national capital, accusing Chief Minister Kejriwal of trying to distract people from the alleged liquor scam.
हमें कोई जरूरत नहीं आपकी सरकार तोड़ने की। हम लोग प्रॉमिस टू डिलीवरी की बात करते हैं। ये ऑपरेशन लोटस है जो पूरे देश में चल रहा है और पूरे देश ने देखा है कि 2014 से आज तक सरकार ने कैसे काम किया।
Operation Lotus, a phrase that has two definitions. The BJP claims it is the model of fulfillment of promises across the country, while the Aam Aadmi Party says it's the model of bringing down state governments. For now, the Aam Aadmi Party is comforted by their MLA's reassurance at the meeting, but the fear and insecurity of MLAs being poached still persists. In New Delhi, with camera person Ashwini Mehra, Riyanshi Sharma for NDTV.
And Telangana BJP MLA T. Raja Singh was arrested again on Thursday under the Stringent Preventive Detention Act, hours after releasing a video about communal atmosphere despite an embargo by the court. He pointedly targeted Minister K.T. Rama Rao in his new video. He was arrested afresh under the Preventive Detention Act, under which police can keep habitual offenders in jail for up to a year.
Huge convoy of police vehicles to take controversial Telangana legislator T. Raja Singh to Cherlapalli jail. This after the Hyderabad police invoked provisions of the Stringent Preventive Detention Act against the now suspended BJP MLA, who the police says has been habitually delivering provocative inflammatory speeches, driving a wedge between communities, leading to public disorder. On Tuesday morning, Raja Singh was arrested after he had put out a video with derogatory remarks allegedly about Prophet Muhammad. By evening, the court, however, ordered his release, saying the police had failed to issue a mandatory notice before arresting him. From Monday onwards, Hyderabad has seen protests in the old city areas demanding action against Raja Singh. Before his arrest, Raja Singh put out a video alleging that it is not him but Telangana ministers K.T. Rama Rao and Mahmood Ali who should be blamed for the communally volatile situation in Hyderabad for allegedly allowing Munawar Farooqi's comedy show that he says insulted Hindu gods.
आज जो तेलंगाना का जो वातावरण खराब हुआ उसका कारण राजा सिंह नहीं, मुख्यमंत्री का बेटा केटीआर और तेलंगाना राज्य का होम मिनिस्टर महमूद अली है.
The Hyderabad police have also arrested the protester who raised provocative slogans like Sar Tan Se Juda against Raja Singh. The police say that they have arrested Raja Singh this time not for his latest comments alone, but for continuously creating ill will and hatred among communities and disrupting public order, pointing out that since 2004 there have been 101 criminal cases against Raja Singh, including 18 of creating communal disharmony. With camera person Nagraju in Hyderabad, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
In fact, not just Raja Singh, action will also be taken against protesters who indulged in provocative sloganeering. That's what the Hyderabad's police commissioner told NDTV. Some international headline. India for the first time on Wednesday voted against Russia during a procedural vote at the United Nations Security Council on Ukraine as the 15-member powerful UN body invited Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to address a meeting through a video teleconference. The Indian Navy will get INS Vikram, the country's first indigenously built aircraft carrier, formally on the 2nd of September. The timing happens to be crucial when China is building up its presence in the Indian Ocean region.
In 8 days, this warship, Vikrant, will become INS Vikrant once she is commissioned into the Indian Navy. Decades in planning and several years being built here in Kochi are now over. In just a few months, Vikrant embarks her complement of Russian-built MiG-29K fighters as full-fledged aviation trials begin. Vikrant's induction couldn't come a day sooner. China is building its presence in the Indian Ocean region with bases and warships.
The aircraft carrier can be utilized for power projection, for ensuring maritime security in the Indian Ocean region, and can provide for credible deterrence.
This is the man who commands Vikrant, Commodore Vidyadhar Harke. It's his job to ensure that Vikrant is fit to fight a war.
The crew is very, very close to my heart. They are the best that could be brought in at this place. And if you recollect, from the first sailing itself, majority of systems were operated by my crew. And over a period of time, they have slowly got mastered it. One part is operating it, other part is maintaining it, and the third part is to undertake defect rectification.
Built at a cost of nearly 20,000 crores, Vikrant will have 1,500 officers and sailors on board. The carrier will embark 30 aircraft, including helicopters and fighter jets. Vikrant displaces 43,000 tons and is the largest warship built in India.
The Indian Navy has made it clear that it needs 3 aircraft carriers, one for each coast and one which would be in maintenance. Therefore, 2 operational warships at any one time. But a warship like Vikrant costs 20,000 crores. And for the government to actually be able to raise those funds would be very much a leap of faith. But the Navy is absolutely clear. They need 3 aircraft carriers which are available to them. In Kochi, with Rupin Pawa, Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
And with that, it's a wrap from all of us on this bulletin. But stay tuned to NDTV for all the latest.